tell you about buying the Trotsky book and take that stupid hat off? No, it's funny because, I don't know, it is funny, isn't it? Because, you know why? Leon Trotsky was Ukrainian. I've just been through this already. And, you know what? Ukraine was at that point. Boo! We all hate history. Part of the USSR. I don't remember. I've had a head injury. I was just talking about. I know I had to get this old brick out in the shop. I've just put this brick of a book. I never read it. It's too much. The words are really small. And so we had that conversation again. I just had to put it out there. He was Ukrainian or born in Ukraine. I don't know. It's focal point, isn't it? It's interesting how people's reactions to it. What the hell is she doing, being a Russian sympathiser? Walking around in that hat. What's the term at the moment? I don't think these are actually just Russian hats. You know, they wear them all over the place. It's just funny, isn't it? You know, I did sociology at college, so I went into Waterstones to get a book on Trotsky. I wasn't going to go on this big actually. Or written by him, which is also marvellous. And I couldn't find one, so I asked the man, and he couldn't find it either. And he looked on the system, and he said, "Well, we should have one here," and it wasn't there. And then I spotted this one on the shelf, and I said, "Oh, I'll just get this one." It was £20 because I'm quite interested. I've not read it, and I don't suppose I ever will. But he looked on the system and then he goes, he was a really nice bloke. He wasn't a very handsome man, he said. I said, well, come and have a look at his picture. And I said, oh yeah, it's a family trait. I did actually say to him it was my granddad. But it's true. And I said, I think actually he was quite a striking figure in his youth. Like a lot of us. And he goes, oh yeah, it does all go south, doesn't it? So, but that was just, I don't know, it's just fun, isn't it? I know. The words of God. I don't know anything about him, to be honest. Not that much. Well, his own words. So that'd be fun. The history of the Russian Revolution. I told you he's the father of revolution, isn't he? That's what he's called. 1E, March. I think you mean Marxist. I don't even know what that means. The history of a revolution is what, first of all, the forcible entrance of the masses into the realm of rulership of their own destiny. I know, Trump's been through this. He goes, yeah, we've got more in common than this and the fucking rest of them. The Ukrainians, I think he's saying at the moment. How about that for a swerve? He had a quick breeze through it himself. But that's not the point, is it? We're just getting all the toys out at the moment, having to sort through everyone's own ideals and what we actually know and want, probably. That's the truth. Well, a man in Waterstones commented on Trotsky not being that attractive. Well, I know, it's interesting, isn't it? But it's just human nature. I don't think he meant anything by it. How handsome was he? I don't know. When I say my grandmother, oh God, it's long, isn't it? It's too long. It's not important, is it? None of it's important. Well, it is, they say. Well, is it though? How is it important? And who's it important to? Why is the dog crying? She wants some pasta. Marxists and Spencers is funny. I know Marks and Spencers, that is, to anyone who's not native to my jokes, for one. Marx just, put them all together because he wants to paint me as some inflammatory hooligan, which is fine by me. I don't really mind. I don't even know what Marxism means. I did say to her in the shop, I've had a head injury and I need to brush up on all this stuff. So that's the truth. .46, the contour markers, that's when they do those facial recognition things. I think that's what they were. Me and my daughter both have with Trotsky. I believe. And it was, I think, Sophia, Nana Soph, who had the Dutch father and Ukrainian mother, who was Dutch. What was he? Do you know what? I don't know. Nobody really knew anything those days. They just all wandered around all over the place, didn't they? This is why I just say mixed heritage. It's mixed heritage. It's true. And no one really cares about your. Do you know what? It's not supposed to be very cool to just go barging in saying, "Don't you know who I am?" all the time. People treat you different. Which is part of the funs of the unravelling game. Don't be too harsh on Mark. He's been put to task as well. He's supposed to be dealing with all the feminists and unravelling some of that horse crap. Well, I know it's a winding out and winding down thing, isn't it? Because all over the world, people have slightly different attitudes to things. So if we're doing a bit of a, what's it called? The balance thing. It's like you have a bit of a shake around to move some more people in. Back to the old traditional roles, I suppose, of not where Mark is. Well, I don't really know them. Probably the end of something. What do you mean, would you turf Trotsky's? I don't think I am the only known line. How many children do he have? Out of bed for some street puss? Probably. That's the point though, isn't it? That's the whole point of communism? I don't know. You know what I mean though, don't you? Sort of. All the same. Salut. I think that's Ukrainian, isn't it? Rather than Russian? I don't know. I bought virgin avocado oil from Marxists and spenders. Not suspenders. Spenders, like people who like, throwing the cash out. I don't know. I'll tell you what I do need to do. I need to take this dog around, trot the dog around the old hoo-ha ridge, and then come home and dig into this book. I did say to, I think it was a bloke in the bookshop actually, and I was talking about, I doubt I'll read this now. I've got loads of books on the go. I mean, not all of it, trawl through it. It's going to be like fucking War and Peace. I remember I'm spending about 6 years reading that. Just by a bed. It's like, oh, Jesus God, this is going on. But, which is based on the Russian Revolution. I can't remember. How I just dip into books, a bit like the Bible. You just open it up and read, like picking. And then I just said, oh, do you know what, I'm just going to take it now, wait for the blackouts. Oh, it was funny. It is funny, isn't it? Kind of. It's relevant. It's politically relevant. Where does the German come from in my lines? I don't know. God knows. I know everything, do I? The other side of the family are being quiet at the moment. You know what people like in war times? Every port was a hospital. still goes on today, doesn't it? Oh, I'll tell you what, I'll just pop over this way with my bank card and set up a base. Could have been anything going on, really. Anything at all. I'll get some papers, don't worry about it. I'll just make some up. I know this man, I know this bloke, I know loads of people actually. I know all the people I have to know around this place at the moment. Do you know why? Do you know who I am? Don't you know who I am? I think I do, yes. Goodbye. Something missing in this pasta. I don't get pasta in Marks and Spencer's. I just fancied doing it. I was in there. I just thought I'd try it. I like to do my secret shopping thing. And just try the quality of food in different places. There was a time you could trust Marks and Spencer's. We always used to get gift vouchers for that when we were kids. And you like to think that's one place people don't spit in the food. You can tell by the people who shop there, like Pinky and Tess. They've probably been told it's a safe place to shop. They've really changed it now. I was just testing it for points of what? Contour. Part of the revolution, though, isn't it? Stopping people spitting in food. Corruption in what? High office. Control of the masses by discrimination of the few. Labrinska. Is that what I said? Labrinska. Labrinska. I think that's what they used to refer to my nanny Lee as. And why I got that little Trotsky outfit when I was a kid. That little horse costume. My granddad said it would be funny later. Not to spoil the children. Get a little Trotsky outfit. Wind up the other kids. It was just a horse costume, not an actual, you know, not a dress-up kit of a political figure head. How's that tackling feminism by shagging all the prostitutes? I don't know, they're still clawing and fighting over it, aren't they? It's just interesting. Women. It's true. You need to be, what? Self-sufficient, all the rest of it, but which one of them is? And now they're all going the other way. They're all loaded, just, you know what, they're fucking crazy, all of them. Every last damn one. But, just to drive, oh, do you know what? I'll stop talking. Look how strong these women are. Oh yeah, so strong. What are they doing? Twerking to men. That's fucking really strong. Really fucking strong. Why did I flash my tits over the internet? Well, you know why. Because it was just that whole thing, isn't it? Of like, oh, do you know what? Young, nubile women all over the time. It's like, oh, you're old, blah, blah. Do you know what? I don't fucking give two shits, mate. This is my body. I've seen yours. I don't really fucking all your body shoved in my face. Nobody understands that, do they? Until, oh, you're jealous, you're jealous. No, it's just like, you know what? Here's my body. Oh, we don't like it. It's disgusting. Take it away. Do you know what? Is that feminist? You're not supposed to say that, are you? It's like, oh, you idiots, all of you. Every last fucking damn last one of you. Every last damn one. You're a fucking idiot. All of them. It's just the fucking body. It's just, what is it? It's a corpse with a bit of electricity running through it still. Who cares? Who cares about it? I don't care. Right, you like that one? You like that fit bouncy one that's, you know, well, I don't care. I don't care. I don't care at all. I'm bored of you. I'm so fucking bored of you. It's untrue. What have you just shown me? You're just a typical idiot. A brainless fucking moron who doesn't know what it's doing with itself. You're just fucking configured by society. And society is sick. You're not doing it for that. It's a political thing. You just talked it through. Yeah, I know. There you go. Why am I so annoyed? My Fabergé eggs, to be honest. And the fact I haven't been able to talk to my children and they say everything I say is dumb. They don't even fucking know who Trotsky is. Or Lenin or, oh God, Stalin or anyone, to be honest. Anyone cool. There's another book I nearly bought. It's The Problem with Putin. I was like, that's not how you say it. Well, I nearly bought that as well, but I was like, I'm just curious as to what they decide the problem with Putin is. I don't know, but I've got to read the history of the Russian Revolution first. Putin works out what's wrong with himself, probably. The only thing wrong with Putin is he's born into this load of horse shit. And with that, I have a certain amount of empathy. Have another can of drink and take the dog outside and give her a good kick. I might do that, actually. The white dog. Oh, shut up, Dolly. How much time have we got? 19. Get your glasses and read from the Russian Revolution and from Trotsky's Arab World. That's going to be too boring. No, it's not, says Comrade. Comrade Barrett. You want to buy my pies? Kick him again. That's funny, mate. was pictures, wasn't it? You're an arsehole. I was only doing it for backdrop. Right, a note about the author. This is the first time in scientific history of a great event has been written by a man who played a dominant part in it. It is the first time a revolution was ever retraced and explained by one of its leaders, and the author has chosen to write the book objectively, speaking of himself in the third person, not dwelling upon his own acts or experiences, except, as they're recorded by others, it seems fair to give the reader some of the preliminary glimpse of him and the part he played. In the complete works of Lenin, the first great publishing enterprise undertaken by the Russian Soviet government after the revolution, there was included a brief biographical sketch of all the important revolutionists mentioned by Lenin. This glossary was prepared by the official historians of the Bolshevik Party under the editorship of Kamenev, one of the leading members of its Central Committee. The paragraph dealing with Leon Trotsky reads as follows. See, a lot of people probably can't even read this and don't know their own history. L.D. Trotsky was born in 1881, 1879, edited, organised workmen's circles in Nikolaev, was exiled to Siberia in 1898. Okay, well I can't read it either, so there we are, conjoined in the non-reading bit. In 1898, soon escaped and going abroad, collaborated on Iskra, the paper edited by Lenin and others in London. Estimated, I presume. He attended the Second Congress of the party as a delegate from the Siberian Union. After the split in the party, he joined the Mensheviks. Before the revolution of 1905, he advanced his own unique and now especially celebrated theory of permanent revolution, asserting that the bourgeois revolution of 1905 would pass over directly into socialist revolution, which would prove the first of a series of national revolutions. He defended this theory in the paper Nakale, the central organ of the Menshevik fraction, published in Petersburg from November to December 1905, after the arrest of Krishtalevnoza. Trotsky was elected president of the First Petersburg Soviet of Workers' Deputies, arrested together with its executive committee on December the 3rd, 1905, and exiled for life to the penal colony of Oberdirsk. He escaped on the way there and went abroad. Trotsky chose Vienna for his residence, and there published popular workers' paper, Pravda, for distribution in Russia. He broke up with the Mensheviks and attempted to form an extra-party group. From the beginning of the imperialist war, he took a clear internationalist position, taking part in the publication of Nacho Slovo in Paris and adhering, how about that, Vienna, tipped in, probably, by the olds. The platform of Zimmerwald. Expelled from France, he went to the United States. Returning from there after the February Revolution, he was arrested by the British and freed only at the demand of his provisional government. Acting under compulsion from the Petersburg Soviet, in Petersburg he joined the organisation of the Mezryonicity, together with which he entered the Bolshevik Party at the 6th Congress in 1971 in Petersburg. After the July days, he was arrested by the government of Kerensky and indicated for leading an insurrection, but was soon liberated on the insistence of the Petersburg proletariat. I don't know what that word means. After St. Petersburg Soviet went Bolshevik, he was elected its president in the capacity organised and led insurrection of October 25th. He He's been a permanent member of the Central Committee of the Russian Communist Party since 1917 and a member of the Soviet of People's Commissioners of Foreign Affairs until the signing of peace, Brest-Litovsk, and then as People's Commissioner of War. In this brief outline, the 3 points in Trotsky's life are indicated in the statement that he became president of St. Petersburg Soviet in 1905, that is, the leader, insofar as there was one, of the first Russian Revolution, that he organised and led the insurrection of October 1917, which means that under Lenin's political leadership, Lenin himself being in hiding, he commanded that the forces of the Bolshevik Revolution, about which this book is essentially written, and the statement that he became the People's Commissioner of War in the Soviet government. This means that he organised the defence of the new Workers' Republic, created the Red Army, and conducted a war against counter-revolutionary forces, backed up with ammunition and supplies by all the great powers of the war, which was fought on 14 different fronts with a battle line 7,000 miles long, and which was carried to victory under his leadership. The degree of Trotsky's independent power as supreme commander during the Civil War is indicated in the fact that Lenin, the head of the Bolshevik Party, and the government gave him blank paper endorsing with his signature any order or command which Trotsky saw fit to write upon it. I'm bored of reading now. Please keep reading. I'm dying. A comment upon each of these 3 high points in Trotsky's life, from those in a position to judge, will be useful than anything we can say. Lunasharsky, another eminent Bolshevik who became Commissioner of Education in the first Soviet government, wrote as follows about Trotsky's work in the Revolution of 1905. Trotsky's popularity among the Petersburg proletariat up to the time of his arrest was very great, and increased as a result of his extraordinary picturesque and heroic conduct in court. I ought to say that Trotsky, of all the social democratic leaders of 1905 and 1906, undoubtedly showed himself, in spite of his youth, the most thoroughly prepared. Least of all, he wore an imprint of a certain emigrant narrowness, which, as I have said, impeded even Lenin at that time. He more than any other realised what a broad struggle for sovereignty really is, and he came out of the revolution with the greatest gain in popularity. Neither Lenin nor Martov made any essential gain. Plekhanov lost much in consequence of his semi-cadet tendencies. Trotsky from that time stood in the front rank. This statement will show how fantastic is the newspaper legend that Trotsky leaped from an obscure position in a tailor in the Bronx to leadership of the Russian Revolution. Trotsky came to New York after being exiled from Switzerland, France and Spain as a dangerous agitator against the imperialist war, was welcomed by the Slavonic labouring population, as the hero of the past revolution and inevitable leader of the revolution to come. He addressed immense mass meetings, one of them that many Americans remember, in the Hippodrome, and earned his living as an editor of the Russian Revolutionary Daily Novy Mir. That do. As to the second great achievement of Trotsky's life, the organisation and leadership of the insurrection of October 1917, it's hardly necessary to introduce comments. The facts are known to the whole world. The reader will be interested, however, in the following tribute to Trotsky's leadership from one who subsequently became his bitter political enemy, writing on the role of the most eminent party's leaders, in Father Joseph Stalin, confirmed official accounts of Trotsky's role in October in the following words. Say Stalin. Of all the words, practical. You wanted me to buy Stalin anyway, didn't you, Stalin? when I was in the shop, you kept shouting down the phone, buy Stalin, buy Stalin. No, I want to buy this. Trotsky, Trotsky, trip, trot, trip, trot. The horses are coming, remember? In October, the following words, all the work of practical organisation of the insurrection was conducted under the intermediate leadership of the president of the Petrograd Soviet, Comrade Trotsky. It's possible to declare with certainty that the swift passing of the garrison to the side of the Soviet, the bold execution of the work of the Military Revolutionary Committee, the party owes principally, but first of all, to Comrade Trotsky. Right, I am going to keep reading. The third great achievement of Trotsky's life, his organisation and command of the Red Army in the Civil War, is also well known as to need no comment. There is, however, a passage in the memoirs of Maxim Gorky in which he records Lenin's own tribute to Trotsky's achievements in the military sphere. In a conversation between Gorky and Lenin, the question of some rumoured discord between Lenin and Trotsky came up. Lenin exclaimed, "They lie a lot, it seems, an awful lot about me and Trotsky," and then, striking his fist on the table, "Show me another man who could organise almost a model army in a single year. We believe that this present work, the history of the Russian Revolution, will take its place in the record of Trotsky's life, with his youthful prowess of the Revolution in 1905, his organisation, leadership of the insurrection of October, his creation and victorious command of the Red Army as one of the supreme achievements of this versatile and powerful mind and will." In this book, Trotsky has given character sketches of all the other eminent men in the Russian Revolution, but he has naturally omitted to give such a sketch of himself. To supply this defect, we offer the readers the following additional excerpts from the study of Trotsky's written by A.V. Lunacharsky, the Soviet Commissioner of Education. The study from which we have already quoted a paragraph was published in Moscow in 1923 in a little volume called Revolutionary Silhouettes. I first met Trotsky in 1905. After the event of January, he came to Geneva, I have forgotten whence, and was to speak with me at a big meeting called to discuss that tragedy. Trotsky was then unusually elegant in distinction from all of us. Very beautiful. That elegance of his, and especially a kind of careless, high and mighty manner of talking with no matter whom, struck me very unpleasantly. I looked with great disapproval on that dude, who swung his leg over his knee and then dashed off with a pencil, an outline of the impromptu speech he was going to make at the meeting, but Trotsky spoke mighty well. That's it. I'm finishing now because we're up to 33. Okay? Happy now? Happy now, Barrett?